Hey guys, this is CK at CK Education. Today I want to share a story with you about a student named Andy. He came to me a little bit younger, a little bit earlier than most students. Most students start with me around the middle of 10th grade, some as early as the beginning of 10th grade, but this kid came even earlier, the end of 9th grade, something like that. And his parents wanted him to just start early and get it over with. They wanted him to definitely get it done before his junior year, because junior year for most students is the busiest year. Students are taking the most AP classes and they're just bogged down with school. So just wanted to, start early, finish early. It's not always the best idea because it really depends on the motivation of the student. And some students just at that, time in their lives, it's really maybe just a year difference, but that year could be huge. I mean, they're just not ready. They don't want to do it. This kid was different. Andy really wanted to do it. I mean, he wanted to do it. He was motivated. I mean, he was eager. So I decided to take him on. And so the thing was, he's a very smart guy. But for some reason, his GPA was a little bit on the low side. Not really low, but a little bit on the lower side. I think one year he got, like I said, it wasn't too bad, but I think it's like 3.4, something like that. And the reason that was important in his case is that he was looking to go to some big name schools. He wanted to see what the possibility was of getting scholarships and so forth. But I had to tell his parents that, GPA scholarships are not just based on SAT scores. You have to be good in both areas. I mean, you got to have a high GPA and great SAT scores to have a chance. Okay. I mean, I'm oversimplifying a little bit, but with scholarships, you have to be strong in GPA and SAT, generally speaking. And if you're weak in GPA, a lot of students and parents think that, well, if you just have a really good SAT score, it'll make up for it, right? Or SAT is a little bit low, but GPA is really good. It'll make up for it. It really doesn't, because there are too many students who have great GPAs and great SATs both at the same time. So it's really not an advantage just to have one high and the other is a little mediocre. And because his his GPA was a little bit mediocre, I told him the scholarship chances are not very high, and the schools that he's aiming to go to, these big name schools, are probably not very likely. I'm not saying don't apply. I feel like students should apply to whatever schools they want to apply to, but I said don't get your hopes up too high. But he did end up getting accepted to the local public university, which is a fantastic university, and he is going there. But just to let you know, I don't want people to be misled. I don't want them to get their hopes up on and have unrealistic expectations. So I try to make that clear up front. But he did great. I mean, when he started out, he was already a pretty strong student. I mean, his math he started out about 750. He started out at like 750 in math. He started out about 650 in reading and writing. So his starting total score was about 1400. And he ended up on a real test getting 790 in math, excellent score. He went up 40 points there. In reading and writing, he got a 710, which is a 60-point increase. On his first shot, on the very first real test that he took, he got a 1500. That was a 100-point increase. And this was 35 classes, about 53 hours of class time he had, and he got a 1500. Now, he took the test, after he finished with me. So he finished with me, got a 1500. His parents wanted him to take it again and see if he could get a higher score. Again, this was based on the belief that, well, what if he gets like a 1550 or a 1570? And even with a little bit lower GPA, wouldn't there maybe be a chance that would get him scholarships or get him into these prestigious schools? Even though I told them that wasn't the case, they still somehow, they wouldn't give up on that. So they had him take it again, but he never got past that. The best he got was 1500. Now again, it's not a bad score at all, but I'm just giving you the background to maybe understand why his parents wanted him to get even higher. Okay, so anyway, he did that, but he was a wonderful kid. Just did really well. So mature and motivated for his age, which is not that common. So a great case of starting early, ending early, doing great. He didn't have to worry anything about SAT in his junior year. He was all done. Okay. One other thing I like to say, parents have asked me in the past, do you have to take the SAT in your junior year? Obviously, you do not. You can take it any year of your high school year. It's just that, when a ninth grader takes it, they usually don't do as well. Yeah, I mean, you could take it in 10th grade, you could take it in 11th grade, you can take it anytime up to the deadline for college, for applying to colleges. I'm assuming that you get your scores back in time to send it, but yeah, there's no specific time. People have always also asked, is there a number, a threshold, like if you take it more than 3 times? Everybody says you should not take it more than 3 times. There's no hard and fast rule about that. I don't see why you would take it over 3 times. But I have had students who took it, let's say, 3 times before they even came to me. And they took it, they didn't get the results, they didn't really see any improvement in their score. So they come to me, asked around and found out, and then they come to me for help, and then sometimes I have them take it again or twice, so they have a total of 4 or 5 tests on the record. There's nothing wrong with that per se, but I just think that the ideal situation is that you start and then you take it twice. Most of my students will take it twice when you're near your peak confidence and performance level, and you take it in 2 consecutive test dates. So for example, if somebody takes it like May, June, or something like that. But that's what I recommend, so I recommend that students, in fact, students who come to me, I always say you should not do any prep before you come to me, if at all possible. If you already have and you just didn't know, then I mean, what can you do? But I mean, for best results, just basically do nothing. And then I like to take students from scratch, if you will, because you just get the best results like that. He was one of these cases as well. He had never done SAT prep before, and he came. So anyway, just wanted to share that story. As always, if you're interested in becoming one of my students, the best thing to go is go to my website, ckeducation.org, and fill out the SAT prep application form. And in the comments section, please write why you think you would be a great candidate, a great fit as one of my students. I will read that and I will get back to you personally. I can't take every student who applies, but I will do my best to accommodate those whom I think would be great fits. So anyway, until my next video, stay well and we'll talk again.